Hey there, I'm Carrie Kill Hitler, and I think it's time for a Flingback Friday. Do you like that alliteration? It took me 12 hours to come up with it. And it's not even Friday anymore. Lately on my YouTube channel, I've been delving into AI-generated music, with me posting my first pleasant-sounding pieces on March 9th, 2017. But that was almost 2 months after my first attempt at music. But that was almost 2 months after my first attempt at programming neural networks.
After every single word, it's going to take a step in what it thinks is the right direction.
But that was over 1 year after my first YouTube video about artificial intelligence in general.
It's got just 15 seconds to prove how well it can move to the right.
But that was almost 2.5 years after I first started programming that evolution simulator. January 2013. Such a long time ago, huh? Before even Harlem Shake?
Carrie, didn't you promise not to show that clip of yourself ever again?
Weren't you exiled from the show like 2 weeks ago?
Don't care. You need punishment for that. Hashtag Harambe was first, Carrie is next.
I'm pretty sure death threats aren't appropriate on a kid-friendly video like this one. Anyway, that evolution simulator was actually not my first attempt at programming AI. Nuh-uh, not by a long shot. For that, we gotta go way back. To a time before the Trololo guy and the Bed Intruder song.
Why are all your milestones memes?
I don't know, I guess that's just the language the internet speaks.
No.
Okay, fine, we gotta go back to a time before the BP oil spill and the death of Michael Jackson. So yeah, here's some context. My 5th grade teacher was pretty awesome. If it was raining during recess, he'd let us stay inside and play video games on the 6 computers in the back of the classroom. One of those games, Icy Tower, quickly became my favorite computer game of all time.
Just kidding, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 will always be beige.
The main objective of Icy Tower is just to climb this infinite tower and get really and I think my best score was something like 470. By the way, the original pixel arty version will always be better than the Facebook Flash version, but regardless, I loved Icy Tower so much that the first game I ever programmed, Get to the Top Although There Is No Top, was essentially an Icy Tower clone.
Let's go check it out. Warning, some of the ads on Newgrounds aren't kid-friendly, so if you're a kid, maybe don't look at the bad ads. Here we are on Newgrounds, which is where I used to post a lot of my games to, so if you search GTTTHEANT under games, you'll get the first game I ever created right here. You can go, okay, there we go. It's all good. I was scared that I didn't have the latest Flash player. But if you want to check this out, you know what to do. This was posted to Newgrounds on January 17th, 2009, so a full year before BFDI. And I was 11 years old, and you can see we called it a hop and bop action platformer. How silly. What I really like is seeing all these reviews from 8 years ago. Decent game. This game is pretty good. Hope you can improve your character into something more cooler than a stickman. Well, this is like the same stickman I use in my videos now. Even when I try to improve animation quality, I still stay the same. Sorry for scrolling up and down so much, it's a bad habit. Can you tell me the action script? Well, I guess I never did. Coolio, haven't seen this sort of thing in a while, good job. I feel like that's sarcastic because there's so many games that are exactly like this. Well, let me just show you. See, you're just jumping through the platforms using the arrow keys and space to move. And the goal is just to go as high as possible and not fall to the bottom of the screen. So it's really quite easy. And if you move faster left and right while you jump, then you jump higher. Oh, and the background changes color if you get enough points too. See, that was a really big jump. Oh, I died. You might have noticed that there's no AI in this game, and you're right, we're not there yet. So if you would be so kind, search up the same game, find this exact page, and give me a 1-star rating, because that would be awesome. It's cause it needs to be punished for its lack of automation. Anyway, around June of the same year, I was getting tired of playing this game with my own fingers, because those fingers were starting to liquefy from all the exhaustion. So in one of the 100 variations of this game, we have automatic. Let's check it out. This is June 2009, and you can see the game is playing like normal, but I'm not touching the keys right now. Sticky is moving entirely on his own. So you could call this artificial intelligence, but it's so simple. Oh, I died, or the AI died. I think all that's happening is when the character's Y coordinate goes below a certain level, it just automatically jumps. And whenever it's in the air, then it moves left and right so that it gets closer to the X coordinate of the highest platform it can reach. from that jump height or something. Okay, upon further inspection, it looks like the AI is literally moving left or right to the closest platform vertically, which is just a stupid strategy because you can see that as it jumps really high into the air, it wiggles back and forth as it passes a bunch of platforms. But that's just what it does, and that's just what my 12-year-old self thought was the best. But here's one reason why this is cheating and not really artificial intelligence. The amount of control this AI has is much higher than the actual human player in the game. So if you get a feeling for how sluggish this character turns around left and right, it's like moving through syrup, right? But this AI seems to have superhuman control. If your definition of artificial intelligence is some code that acts like a human brain, mimicking human intelligence and human capabilities, then this fails because it is not mimicking humans in a fair way. But what's cool is you can hit horror down and it'll pan really fast, and then the computer has to try even harder. But like, do you see how high it's jumping? That would not happen with humans. So around the same month, I made super automatic, which cheats even more. Like, just look at that, it's absurd. But it works even better on horror. Okay, maybe not. So it's time to see what my first true artificial intelligence was. So you may have noticed that no matter how far you climb up this tower, all the platforms look entirely the same. Literally a boring old gray rectangle. And after about 11 months of jumping on these platforms, I had had enough. So on December 16th, 2009, I created diffplat, which is short for different platforms. And every 40 platforms, it changes the appearance of those platforms. And I also changed the controls so you can jump a bit higher and it's a little more spazzy. And this game, this variation, I actually tried hard to make it a well-balanced, fun game to play. So much so that I think I must have wasted hours on this variation. So since I couldn't draw an infinite number of platform types, I actually limited it to 10. So the 400th platform is the final platform and there's no more beyond that. But because the game gets harder and harder, it's actually quite difficult to get to the top of this tower. So I think about I only make it to the top at about 10% of these games. And it's actually quite funny that there is a highest platform, oh I died, to a game called Get to the Top, although there is no top in the title. So as I'm playing this game right now, get a feel for how Sticky moves around, how sensitive the controls are, and just in general how difficult this game feels to you. So classic old different platforms was in the third bunch of variations called Newest G, but if you look at newer than Newest G, there's diffplat Auto, which was November 14th, 2010, so almost a full year later. And that's right here. And this, I would call my first true artificial intelligence because as you can see in the lower right, it is using the same controls a human player would use. So actually, if I play alongside this artificial intelligence, it is a level playing field. And I could technically do exactly the same things as the AI is doing and get the same results. I think this AI strategy is a little more complicated than the one from a year ago because I wanted to utilize the fact that the faster you move horizontally, the higher you jump. So Sticky will never jump if he's on the middle of a platform because that's a waste of space. If he's ever on the middle of a platform, he'll try to run to the sides and then jump when he's right at the edge because that's when he has the maximum velocity. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. See what the oh, he's about to die. See what the highest platform you can reach with your jump height is, and then move left or right to get there closer. And then if you're, oh, he died. If you're on a platform, then try to run to one of the sides as fast as you can so you can get the highest jump. So what I could do now is have the AI playing on the right and me playing on the left and see who wins. See, 244, you could tell from my gameplay that that's higher than what I average. Oh, look at that, it's all the variations condensed. So here we go. I can't click play on both screens at the same time, but I can restrain myself from actually jumping until the AI starts, so I will click play on mine first, and then 3, 2, 1, go. Oh shoot, I have to mouse focus. Wait, what? Okay, I'm behind a bit, but it's not about who goes fastest, it's about who gets the highest platform number. Oh, okay, wow, AI is already at the bloody poop containers. I'm at the bloody poop containers now. Good old BPCs. Oh gosh. Wow, I'm actually playing with a real friend for once. That has never happened before. Is this what online multiplayer feels like? Wait, I actually might be catching up. Because, yeah, now we're both on trees. Oh shoot, I almost died. I think I've watched the AI play like dozens of times and it's never reached platform 400, but I have. So I think skill-wise, oh, I almost died again. Skill-wise, a human is actually better. But right now, at least like on the extremes. So I guess humans have a wider like standard deviation. Wow, we're both doing pretty well. Oh god. I can see the AI is really close to the bottom of the screen. I think I beat it. Yeah, because they were right at the boundary between the water and the ladders, and I'm at the full ladders now. Oh, that was further than I got when I was playing on my own, so I guess competition really motivates me to do better. But that was a pretty close game, 278 to 309. And I actually don't think I've seen the AI do that well either, so we both did really well. Let's give that a second go because I had an unfair late start. So we go here, and then I click here, and let's see. Why does it never give me mouse focus on the first click? I have to click on the SWF screen itself. So let me, I lost that one, I guess. Let me refresh, and I can't click here, I have to click here. Okay, there we go. So one reason why I don't like the way I programmed the AI in this game is that it's quite limited and can never improve on its own. The rules that I had coded for it are like rock solid, the rigid. So any bad habits that arise from those set of rules will never be fixed. And one of those bad things is that it can never kind of do a swoop into a platform like a human can. As I hit the platform, oh, I died. Oh, that's even closer, 236 to 231. Anyway, so by swoop, I mean, when I'm going fast to the right and I'm gonna hit a platform to the right, keep my momentum and then I jump with all that velocity and I go higher. The AI, since it's trained to always try to hit the middle of each platform, it'll actually slow down so that it hits the middle with the most accuracy, and then it has to speed up again once it's landed to get a high jump. And I've noticed that actually makes the jumps much shorter. Anyway, I guess the moral of the story is when you're trying to come up with a dictionary-like set of rules for the AI to follow, there will always be exceptions and nuances that are impossible for you to articulate, but that you can kind of feel intuitively. Oh, I lost that one. And that's why deep learning with neural networks is so much better, because you don't even have to worry about the actual rules. You just kind of give it a goal, which is to get as high as possible, and then hope that the math can figure it out on its own. I mean, if you really want to go hard with the analogies, this is kind of like give a man a fish and he's like fed for a day, and like teach a man to fish and he's fed for a lifetime, something like that. It's exactly the same. But I mean, for something in 2010, I'm pretty proud of how well the artificial intelligence does. You know, I think at the human side, I should have added the arrow control display in the lower right also, even though I know what keys I'm pressing, because you guys don't know what keys I'm pressing. Like, for all you know, I could be pressing a single arbitrary key, like F, that makes me cheat and do well. But I'm not, I'm doing the same thing. And then also the two screens will look like identical, which is, you know, a perfect way to prove that it's a level playing field. Oh, I died earlier on that one. So I believe Michael wrote all the descriptions below these games, which is the text you see below the SWF. And both descriptions have the word newfangled in them. It says, okay, I can't read while I'm playing, but it's like these newfangled style platforms for the human ones. And then for the AI, it says newfangled technology has brought us to a world where computers can play their own games for us. Well, it's a real challenge to play and read at the same time. Now you can sit back and relax. Well, I'm not sitting back and relaxing. But yeah, I mean, another cool thing is that the AI, we could speed up the frame rate to like 1,000 and it could probably still perform at the same rate, but then me as a human, I'd fail. So the AI definitely has the efficiency advantage over me. If you think that my AI genesis happened in January of 2013 when I started the evolution simulator, well, this video is here to prove you wrong, because there's a much longer history than that. So remember, the true date is December 16th, 2010, or whatever it was, I can't remember. Unless you count cheating AI, then it would be sometime in 2009. Oh, and if you like Super Mario Brothers, then you might have noticed that the clouds and the trees in this game also have exactly the same graphic, just colored differently. What, the AI like commit suicide? That's not fair. I need a buddy to play with. So you check out that cloud shape, right? It's got like a big blob, kind of 25% from the left, and it's exactly the same for the trees. Wow, so crazy. So one facet of Icy Tower science is how do you determine how high the jump height is? So you take in the horizontal speed as a parameter, but in this variation, I just have it linear. So if you move twice as fast, your jumping speed is twice as high. But because jump height is kind of the result of a parabola based on the jumping speed, the jump height is actually proportional to the square of the jump speed, which means that if you move twice as fast, you jump 4 times as high. And it actually feels kind of weird because if you move really fast, oh my god, you jump super high. And I fixed that in a later variation, I'm jumping on people now, called combo, where it's now based on the square root of jump speed, which is proportional to, oh, I got to the last platform. Oh my god, I'm glad I got that on camera. But in the combo variation, which is an improvement, your jump speed is proportional to the square root of your horizontal movement, which means that your jump height, which is the square of the square root, is now exactly proportional to your horizontal speed, so it feels natural. Thanks to my Patreon supporters, I can't decide if this video is Patreon worthy, because 1, I waited too long to get Tantasar to read your names, and 2, I didn't code anything new. I'll figure it out. But look, now both screens have an aesthetically pleasing gradient between 2 marvelously beautiful colors, which means it's time for this video to end. Bye. Icy Tower. Icy Tower. No one got that reference.